Ooh, child, when I tell you I did not sleep last night, I didn't sleep last night at all. First of all, I spent 2 hours on the phone with my lawyer, which has 30 years of experience, and he's a fantastic lawyer, just to understand the ins and outs of this situation. Mind you, with everything going on the internet right now, you guys have strayed so far away from the point of the mission yesterday. And the only mission yesterday was to bring Justice Crack out of jail on bail. That was the only thing. While the internet is going completely hula baloo right now and going crazy, Justice Crack is still in jail. Everybody's fighting each other for things I do not understand. But let's even break it down. Now, I have been making content for over 15 years, and I have always strived to be unbiased and remove emotions from certain situations so that I can judge it from a neutral point of view. Now, the only people that we should be focusing on right now is Justice and Marsha. Where it went sideways, let's even break it down. But in the meantime, there are other people in the mix, good people in the mix. I like a lot of the creators that are right now on the internet. I just don't like the way they are approaching this situation because it's still supposed to be about him. Now, in this case, we have Justice, we have Marsha, we have Randy Peters, we have Mama P, we have Very Dark Man, and we have Showore in the back somewhere. Now, let's even remove Very Dark Man from the equation because, sincerely, apart from the internet blowing things completely out of proportion, the only crime he has in this situation is that he posted Marsha on his page. And from my point of view, because as soon as I saw his face, the only thing I said is, oops, this is going to create controversy. This is going to create drama. Marsha is old enough and intelligent enough to have anticipated the drama. Even VDM, you should have anticipated this one. Like, we all know how the internet rolls. They put two and two together because even when you were not on the internet, they still found a way to put your name in the mix. So Marsha should have anticipated this. This is why I will forever say, keep your dealings private. There's certain things you can post on the internet, and there's also timing of when you post it on the internet. Now, from the public's point of view, you have an ongoing case. No one ever said don't go on vacation, and nobody is questioning who you went on vacation with. But you look like you're not focused on the case. Now let's get back to it.
On the last adjourned date, I was the lead counsel to Justice Crack. And we know the effort we've made so far to see that we get justice for Justice Crack. I remember I was the one that wrote to the Minister of Justice to discontinue this matter. I, alongside Mr. Mole Showore, and some comrades met with the Minister of Justice, the DPPF, and the PAMSEC of the Ministry of Justice to see that we get justice for Justice Crack. We followed up on this matter for quite a while. We're unfortunately in court today. Another lawyer, who obviously was my far junior, appeared in court and said he has instructions of some persons to lead or to represent Justice Crack. And I said, well, that's okay. You know, he has a right to representation. I said, that's okay. He has a right to representation. But I've been hearing, some rumors. Although he never approached me before the court proceedings commenced. He waited till the moment of appearance to say that. If another lawyer is in a matter, and I intend to proceed to take over such a matter, the duty of me is to approach that other lawyer and say, I have instructions of...
Now, you all have seen the video. Again, you state that you have done this case pro bono and Justice Crack's wife reached out to you. That is completely fine. You now somehow, in other words, now made it about the fact that you canceled your vacation to come all the way here. Number one, let's go back from the beginning. When this whole court proceeding started, you were not around. You came from another court and joined in. And all of a sudden, you presented yourself as a main leader in the case, right? Which, from what is understood, they allowed it go because at the end of the day, it's everyone coming together and adding their influence to see how they can get Justice Crack out of the situation. Now, you go ahead and file a petition and all that, right? In the meantime, a lot is going on behind closed doors, right, that the public doesn't know about. And the next thing we see is, the bail hearing has been pushed forward. And the next thing we hear is, you are on a vacation. Now, remember, nobody ever said you shouldn't be on a vacation. But for the public now, let's look at it this way. If I, as an individual, I am in jail and I was put there wrongfully, right? I would be stressed. I would be bothered about the situation. And mind you, my family is already under pressure. So imagine from the family's point of view, they see you on vacation. You look like you're having a great time, right? Again, it's not about the vacation, but you look like you're having fun. Now, the different parties involved in this situation keep trying to reach out to you. They are calling you, they are emailing you or whatever they did, and you're not responding. And when you do respond, it's very vague. Now, me sitting in jail, I'm gonna be irritated. I'm sorry to say. This is not about you being on vacation. It's the fact that you did go on vacation without passing the baton to someone else that is presently physically in Nigeria and can be active on a case. You took all your documents with you. You never assigned another lawyer to take charge, which, truth be told, you didn't have to come back. You could have assigned it to someone else. But in my opinion, I feel like you wanted to take credit for it. And that's my opinion. Now, when you say you're doing pro bono for someone, the only difference is the case is still as important as every other case. It's just that you're not getting paid directly from the client. We all know Justice Crack probably cannot afford the legal system, and everybody came together because it's a matter of human rights, right? But let's be also clear, if your name is on the first chair, there are going to be other benefits from this. It looks good for your on your resume. Do you understand? The world will see you as great.
In getting the guy out, he will not cut short his trip. And when I came in this morning, I was still chatting with him this morning. When I came into court, I met Femi. I said, this is the message that Masha sent to me. Masha sent me a message on WhatsApp that, hold my brief, should in case I come late to court. So, and I showed Femi, I said, this is the message, that this is what Masha said. He said no, that he was going to lead. So, and I said, call Masha. He refused. I called Masha and his...
Now, one of the reasons why the internet is going crazy is because it looked like you were embarrassed in court. You stated that while you got in court and everything was supposed to start, that the lawyers were supposed to announce to you that the representative has been changed. You said it was never announced to you. You cannot convince me under any sun that your second hand, your lawyer, did not tell you that they said they were going to represent Justice Crack. And mind you, Justice Crack actually has the right to deal with lawyers that he has been dealing with personally from the beginning of the case. I don't remember you sitting down with Justice Crack directly. We are all judging the case from what we hear on the internet, and you're trying to do your job as a lawyer. But now, instead of you guys to focus on the case itself, you are focusing on superiority. Who is more superior than who? From your point of view, you're more superior than the other lawyers. From their point of view, they are more superior than you. Now, in a court setting, right, if you're on the same team, usually the one who is older and more superior takes the lead regardless. Now, me personally, I don't know who is more older than who in this situation. It's for the court to know. Now, under normal circumstances, you should have been back in the country the day before the proceedings started. Sit down with the other lawyers, sit down with Justice Crack, understand where the case was, but you didn't do that. Instead, you and the other lawyers sat in court or stood in court and embarrassed yourselves. This video is running long, so go to part 2.